We're sharing the secrets to healthy restaurant dining today. Joining us on Skype is Brian Wansink, PhD, the author of Slim by Design and contributor to the December issue of Oh, the Oprah magazine. So when it comes to dining out, most of us pride ourselves on being connoisseurs, but now Brian's going to give us a little quiz to show us how we can make healthier choices at restaurants. So here's the first question. How should you read a menu to find the healthiest options? A, from top to bottom, B, in a Z pattern, or C, ask the waitress? I'm kind of thinking the answer is A, top to bottom. We should read everything?
Well, typically we read it in a Z-shaped pattern. We go like this. But the problem is we end up missing a lot of the goodies when we end up doing that. Instead, the best thing to do is simply to ask the waiter or waitress, what are a few of your lighter options that people really like? You don't want to ask, what are your healthier foods, because they'll just point you to the salads. If you ask for the lighter foods, you'll find the nice surprises, the baked pork chop that has applesauce or something like that.
So if you're watching your weight, where should you sit in a restaurant? A, at a tall table near the window, B, in a booth, C, near the TV and bar. I'm pretty sure it's not near the bar, but I usually try to sit next to a window if it's available, so I'm going with A.
Excellent. Yeah, one of the things we found in our lab is that we say, if you want to be skinny, you do what skinny people do. But one of the things we find is that the people who order the healthiest in restaurants tend to be those that sit either at the high tables, because you have to have a little more posture, a little more aware of what you're doing, or they're people who sit next to the windows. If you sit in that booth way in the back, you're going to be about 80% more likely to order dessert and about 80% less likely to order a salad.
Next question. So what should you have with your bread basket? A, olive oil, or B, butter? I would say out of those two, olive oil?
Yeah, olive oil is a little bit healthier, but if you want to eat fewer calories, you're going to eat about 20% fewer calories if you order butter. Because what happens is we don't put much butter on compared to olive oil. We put the bread in the olive oil and we just watch it soak it up. But the best thing yet is just tell them to leave the bread basket on another table and just save your appetite for the good stuff.
Oh, darn it. I thought I was going to add some bread there. Okay, so what's the best way to navigate the buffet? A, choose a smaller plate. B, survey the entire buffet before you start selecting food. C, face away from the food after you sit. Or D, all of the above. I'm going to say out of those, it would probably be A, select a smaller plate.
Yeah, that's one of the things to do. One of the things we report this really cool study in the book Slim by Design, where what we do is we followed over 300 people eating Chinese buffets across the United States, and we found that skinny people do things very different than heavy people. One thing is they're a lot more likely to survey the food before they pick up their plate. Whereas a lot of heavy people just pick up their plate and then go straight to the food. But skinny people are also 7 times more likely to use a smaller plate if they have them. They sit on average about 16 feet farther away from the buffet, and they're 3 times more likely to face away from the food.
So what does a person do who surveys the buffet and looks for the macaroni and cheese? Just kidding. I know the answer to that, Brian. Thank you so much for this fun quiz. For more tips on healthy living, pick up the latest issue of Oh, the Oprah magazine on newsstands everywhere, including your tablet. Keep watching for more #OwnShow.